There is a popular saying that when you work hard, you play harder. And play harder it is for us in the city of Regina. When we work hard, we find time to recreate and reconnect.
Yes, this is for
Mother, but from Nigeria.
I'm from Nigeria too. Can't you tell? I guess the sun doesn't like me.
Yes,
So today we choose to play the game of bowling. Do you know what that game is? I'll tell you what the game of bowling is all about, okay? Hold on a sec. So let me attempt to define the game of bowling for you. Bowling is a target sport and it's a form of recreational activity in which a player rolls a ball. And in this particular evening, it was a heavy ball, guys, very heavy. Anyways, so a player rolls a ball towards another target in a target bowling. So there are many bowling, a pin bowling or a target bowling. Now, fun fact, do you know that the game of bowling is played by over 120 million people in more than 90 countries of the world, including 70 million people in the United States alone?
Oh, wow.
Today, you know, thank me for it. A little history. The earliest known forms of bowling date back to ancient Egypt, with wall drawings depicting bowling being found in a royal Egyptian tomb dated to 3200 BC, and miniature pins and balls in an Egyptian child's grave about 3200 BC. Ago, remnants of bowling balls were found among artifacts in ancient Egypt going back to the Egyptian proto-dynastic period in 3200 BC. All credit to Wikipedia. Now hear this, about 2000 years ago in the Roman Empire, a similar game evolved between Roman legionaries, entailing the tossing of stone objects as close as possible to other stone objects, which eventually evolved into Italian bocce or outdoor bowling. Now you know. Take a listen. Around AD 400, bowling began in Germany as a religious ritual to cleanse oneself from sin by rolling a rock into a club, kegel, representing the hidden, resulting in bowlers being called keglers. Now you know again. Now let me take you to post-classical history. In 1299, the oldest surviving known bowling green for target-style bowling was built, and it is still in use in Southampton, England to date. In 1325, laws were passed in Berlin and Cologne that limited bets on lawn bowling to 5 shillings. In 1366, the first official mention of bowling in England was made when King Edward III banned it as a distraction to archery practice. In the 15th and 17th centuries, lawn bowling spread from Germany into Austria, Switzerland, and the Low Countries, with playing surfaces made of cinders or baked clay. In 1455, lawn bowling lanes in London were first roofed over, turning bowling into an all-weather game. In Germany, they were called Kegelbahns and were often attached to taverns and guest houses. In 1463, a public feast was held in Frankfurt, Germany, with a venison dinner followed by lawn bowling. Now take a listen. English King Henry VIII was an avid bowler. In 1511, he banned bowling for the lower classes and imposed a levy for private lanes to limit them to the wealthy. Another English law passed in 1541, repealed in 1845, prohibited workers from bowling except at Christmas, and then only in their master's home and in his presence. Wow. In 1530, he acquired Whitehall Palace, in central London as his new residence, having it extensively rebuilt, complete with outdoor bowling lanes, indoor tennis courts, jousting tiltyard, and cockfighting pits. Okay, this is getting more interesting, guys. What do you think? Protestant Reformation founder Martin Luther set the number of pins, which varied from 3 to 17, at 9. He had a bowling lane built next to his home for his children, sometimes rolling a ball himself. Do you know that on 19 July 1588, English Vice Admiral Sir Francis Drake allegedly was playing balls at Plymouth Hoe when the arrival of the Spanish Armada was announced? He replied, "We have time enough to finish the game and beat the Spaniards too." In 1609, Dutch East India Company explorer Henry Hudson discovered Hudson Bay, bringing Dutch colonization to New Amsterdam, later New York. Hudson's men brought some form of lawn bowling with them. In 1617, English King James I published Declaration of Sports, banning bowling on Sundays, but permitting dancing and archery for those first attending an Anglican service, outraging Puritans. It was reissued in 1633 by his successor Charles I, then ordered publicly banned in 1643 by the Puritan Parliaments. In 1670, Dutchmen liked to bowl at the Old King's Arms Tavern near modern-day 2nd and Broadway in New York City. In 1733, Bowling Green in New York City was built on the site of a Dutch cattle market and parade ground, becoming the city's oldest public park to survive to modern times. Now, enough of history. This evening, we just decided to unwind, reconnect, and have some fun after achieving or smashing some goals at work same day. And it was it that we reconnected in the southern part of Regina to play some game of bowls. Question is, how do you unwind at work? How do you unwind at home? How do you unwind amongst your friends and colleagues? This is how we've chosen in 2024 to socialize, to unwind, to play even harder as we work hard, as we hit those bullseyes and smash those goals. Guys, take time this year to unwind. This year, be intentional in reconnecting, in unwinding, and in relaxing. Thank you so much for watching so far. I thank you also for learning along with me what bowling is all about. See you on the next one. Bye. And I hope you learn one or two things about the game of bowling. Have a fantastic one. Bye-bye.